Fox 8, your weather authority. This is a severe weather update, sponsored by Egan Insurance Agency. Family to family, business to business since 1954.
It's 9:12. Thanks for joining us. We are tracking multiple severe thunderstorm warnings as a line of storms is moving across the area this morning. Now you can see we have this bow shape going all the way down from Cutoff up through Covington across the North Shore, and really only southeastern Louisiana is seeing this storm activity right now. But this is what we call a mesoscale convective system. This is starting to push across the area, moving through the city right now. So we'll take a look at these multiple severe thunderstorm warnings, and you can tell just how much lightning we have. If you're in Covington, Mandeville, New Orleans, all the way down through Jefferson Parish, we're seeing heavy storm activity. You're likely hearing that thunder and plenty of lightning out there. So we know a lot of activities going on today. We have Jazz Fest, people trying to head out to the fairgrounds. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to want to wait. We have to get these storms through first. So we'll start on the North Shore. We have a severe thunderstorm warning. This is in effect until 9:30 for St. Tammany Parish. This just moved through Covington, Mandeville, Madisonville, about to head towards Lacombe. It's moving along 12 there, and then it's going to move up across 59. So into Hickory, Pearl River here shortly as it makes its way towards the border of Mississippi. Slidell, going to see these storms soon as well. So the main issues that we're seeing with these storms right now, most of these have a tag for 60-mile-per-hour winds and hail greater than 3/4 of an inch. So we could see some large hail in there, but those winds are causing the most widespread issues right now. We'll take a look at radar tornado detection. So this is our winds out there. We're not looking at tornadoes right now for this warning up on the North Shore. We have 20 to 30-mile-per-hour winds. And right now, we could see some of those gusting up to 60 miles per hour, but this leading edge of those storms is where we're mostly concerned about that severe thunderstorm potential. We'll take a look at the hail. Not really seeing a ton of that right now on the North Shore, so really just worried about those winds. So that's moving towards the border of Mississippi. Down to the south, we already saw the leading edge of these storms move through New Orleans. So this is now starting to move out towards St. Bernard Parish and Orleans Parish towards Twin Spans, and then kind of out into the bayou down into Plaquemines Parish down there. So we're seeing these storms starting to move through Belle Chase right now and all the way down to the south there, John Lafitte. And we're really in the thick of it right now in the city. Looking at that velocity for those winds. Now, the highest winds are right on the edge here. We were seeing those really gusty winds moving through, but you can kind of see where that radar beam is. Our radar's in Slidell. So this is winds to and away from the radar where we're seeing greens and reds. So it's splitting right over the city where those winds are coming through. We just got another severe thunderstorm warning. This is for Terrebonne Parish. So we'll take a look down south, continue our track along this line of storms. Hasn't quite popped up yet. There we go. It's almost including Cocodrie. So you can see we kind of are not as severe from Lafitte down through Chauvin because we're not really seeing those winds. It's on the leading edge of that bow that the worst winds are. So down to the south, though, we have this isolated cell on the edge of this line of storms. This is moving towards Cocodrie. This is where I'm worried about that hail threat. We do have a hail tag on the other ones, but we're really not seeing a lot of hail. This pocket of purple right here, we could see up to ping pong ball sized hail moving towards Cocodrie. So those are the severe thunderstorms we're looking at right now. This one extended to 10 this morning, so that's going to move through Cocodrie around 10, and we'll watch for that as well. So headed back up to the north, I'm going to go to this New Orleans severe thunderstorm warning because we have a lot of people in from out of town trying to go to Jazz Fest. This is a big event. Hopefully you did not head out the door and try to go to the fairgrounds. We're really seeing some bad conditions moving through the city right now. And we've already seen a lot of power outages out there. We can take it over to Josh with the OTT desk. We're looking at power outage maps over in the river parishes. So that's where this has already moved through. And we'll likely see a similar scenario starting to happen in Orleans and Jefferson Parish where these winds are moving through now.
Yeah, and Hannah, I had something I was going to show you, and I will show it to you just briefly because I need to get something else. You were talking about the hail. This is some video that came to us around, looks like 6:54 this morning from Renee. It looks like Renee Mathery, if I'm not mistaken. This is from Lafourche Crossing near Thibodeau. Some hail there falling. That was earlier this morning. Now, I do want to get something. Let me pause this. Give me just a second here. Let me get over to something else, and bear with me. This is all happening in real time here, but I want to get over to Jazz Fest because they just tweeted this out just moments ago. So this is important, and this is what we were talking about. Due to weather conditions, the opening of today's Jazz Fest will be delayed by 1 to 2 hours. Please stay tuned for more information. See you this afternoon. So Jazz Fest, very aware of what's going on right now, Hannah.
That's great.
Very aware of the severe thunderstorm warning that's in place, and we were wondering if this was going to happen once that warning officially came into our parish, into Orleans. I was getting the notifications that the lightning was getting closer and closer, and we're seeing videos from Lafourche Parish and as it was making its way through. So Jazz Fest has officially postponed the opening of the gates. Now the gates are supposed to open at 11 a.m. So if they're delaying it by 1 to 2 hours, you got to.
From Fox 8, your weather authority, this was a severe weather update. Sponsored by Egan Insurance Agency, family to family, business to business since 1954.
But again, getting back to that just now. So we're seeing, again, Jazz Fest has now delayed the opening of the gates, which was set for 11 by 1 to 2 hours, depending on this storm. And so I'm just taking a look at that now. I'm here in the OTT system right now and just kind of getting a look at a lot of things. I got that notification just as Hannah was tossing to us there. I do want to quickly touch on something else, because as that storm passed through, we did see some power outages in some of those river parishes. This is on the other side of the river from Laplace. This is Laplace right here. Gard, this whole area of the highway, I believe, let me get closer, I don't want to get it wrong. I believe that's, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's Highway 18. But this whole area right here, out of power right now. That was when that storm passed through. It's now in Orleans Parish, which is where we knew it was headed. And we're seeing also a power outage up here in the lake, near the lakefront area. I don't know if that's 100% due to the storm, but it's obviously very likely. But we're seeing a power outage there. I believe that's over 2,000 customers affected, according to the Entergy outage map. That's a power outage up near the lakefront, and that's not in Orleans Parish. That looks like it's in Metairie on the other side, near the causeway. And so we are, again, seeing some power outages in the Metairie area. But again, the storm, as it passes through Orleans, we'll see if we get any more power outages in our area. Not getting, let me refresh it one time, because I do want to check and see if we're getting any reports of flooding. This is NOLA Ready Streetwise. No reports of flooding right now. And so as it continues to rain, I know, Hannah, this is going to pass through very quickly, but we could see it start to affect the roadways in Orleans if it does rain hard enough on us. But Hannah, we'll get back to you and let you kind of update us. But again, the big thing right now is what we were waiting on to see if it would happen. Jazz Fest has announced they are pushing back the opening time by 1 to 2 hours due to this weather. It's only 9:20 right now. The gates are set to open 11. So if you're getting ready to go out there and line up, and I hope you're not, because we can hear the rain outside right now of our studio. If you're out there trying to line up, just know those gates are not going to open on time. If you haven't left your hotel, if you haven't left yet, just stay where you are.
Shelter. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. If you're in line, you need to go find somewhere that's stable. We're not looking at tents. You do not want to be in a tent right now. Find somewhere to shelter if you're out there at the fairgrounds. We're getting multiple storm reports as well, now coming from the river parishes, and these are in places where we've been seeing those power outages. So we're going to be watching for that. We've seen thunderstorm wind damage reports in St. Charles Parish. In, let's see, where else? We have Luling, we have a tree down on Old Spanish Trail in Parody, and a shed blown into a street on Kelowna Drive. So we have a lot of thunderstorm wind damage coming out of this. This is just from winds, and it's not tornado winds. So we are going to see the impacts of this extending far beyond just rainfall. So most of us seeing those very stormy conditions still in the city. We have a lot of lightning still happening. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning. And this is continuing this warning that's in Orleans Parish right now. If I had to guess, they're going to end the back end of this, because Kenner, you're looking a little bit better right now. You're probably still hearing some thunder, seeing a little bit of rain, but definitely not as stormy as it was. So headed off to the east from Gentilly through New Orleans, down in Marrero, Belchase still seeing these really stormy conditions. You're still included in the severe thunderstorm warning. Now it looks like it's extended into parts of Orleans and St. Bernard, Northern Plaquemines. So now including Hopedale out towards the east, this new severe thunderstorm warning, this will expire at 10. So these stormy conditions are going to head your way as well. Everybody's getting these storms this morning. Everyone's seeing the storm activity. So New Orleans, Gentilly, right now you're in the thick of it. This is going to head out towards Shell Beach and Hopedale and Delacroix. So we're going to continue to see these storms moving eastward. Now, right now, Both of these severe thunderstorm warnings, the severe thunderstorm warning that includes the city and this severe thunderstorm warning that's now out to the east, including Hopedale and Delacroix, they both have a tornado possible tag. So we're also watching for that rotation out there. We were talking earlier today about the marginal risk for severe weather. That's level 1. That means we can see all modes of severe weather. Right now, damaging winds are the main concern, but places like this out to the west of Delacroix, I'm a little bit suspicious of, because we have to watch these little areas that we started to get a notch in those winds. That's where we could see a brief spin up. So we're not going to rule that out, especially as they head out here. We could see some water spouts over the marsh. So we'll continue to watch for that potential. Right now, we just have a severe thunderstorm warning, and we're looking at really high winds. So in these areas in red now, earlier it was green because these are the winds coming to and away from the radar. The radar's up in Slidell, so that beam is shooting out down to the southwest. So it's going towards the radar here, towards New Orleans, and then away from that beam in Belle Chase, and we're starting to see that wind field there. So this is the front end of that wind field where we're mostly concerned about those thunderstorm wind gusts. We also just have a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is for Jefferson, Lafourche, Plaquemines Parish till 10:15. So this is likely going to be down to the south. There you go. There's that new thunderstorm warning. So everybody down on the South Shore on the east side of the storm system is now included in those severe thunderstorm warnings. So we'll continue to watch this headed towards Point Lahash, Port Sulphur, and then we'll watch for Buras and the mouth of the river soon. So this is including Galliano now, cut off, Lafitte. You're in the thick of it as well. We're seeing those really stormy conditions, and it's going to push down more so to the southeast down here. And you can see, I'll zoom out so you can see really well the bow nature of these storms. They kind of form what we call a bow in the meteorology community. Looks like a bow, and that's where the leading edge of those winds are. Right inside of those reds there is where we're getting those really strong severe thunderstorm wind gusts behind that bow of storms that's pushing through. So it's going to be to the southeast on the bottom edge there, and more easterly the farther north we get. So we'll keep watching for these severe thunderstorm warnings. We'll head up to the north now because this is about to move through Slidell. That severe thunderstorm warning ends right before Picayune. It's not quite into southern Mississippi. I think they'll likely continue this over to the east as these storms move through. The good news on the north side doesn't look quite as bad as what we're seeing now down to the south over the city. We're still getting really high winds, more so 20 to 30 miles per hour now, but all of these are tagged for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So we've already seen multiple reports of damage, mostly worried about trees coming down. That's been causing power outages. We had reports in East Baton Rouge of trees down causing minor injuries, and this is the same storm system that moved through. So we'll keep watching for all of those threats. Now, street flooding, also something we'll have to worry about. Lots of people trying to head out to Jazz Fest. You want to get on the roadways to do so. And if we look at that rainfall rate, along that line of storms, we're getting heavy to extreme rainfall rates. That's very high amounts of rain in a very short period of time. So if we look at that 12-hour rain so far, I'll take these warnings off in the lightning so you can see better. We've already had some pockets, especially out towards the river parishes, where we've seen really heavy rainfall, up to 2 inches of rain, and then widespread, we're seeing more so 1 to 2 inches of rain, but this is still raining here as it heads through the city. So we'll have to watch for street flooding potential, especially in New Orleans. We know how easily it floods in the city, and a lot of people headed out on the roadways. So never drive through those flooded roadways. We'll keep an eye out on Streetwise for you so you can know when we're seeing those flooded roads. But looking one more time at those severe thunderstorm warnings, we also have this one down to the south. We've been tracking this little cell here headed towards Cocodrie. It's moving pretty slowly compared to the rest of the storm system, kind of lagging behind on the underside of it. But this is where we're seeing that hail, this little area of pink here. That's where that hail core will be if we do see that hail. So this is tagged for 1.25 inch size hail. That's ping pong ball size hail, big hail there. That's about to head towards Cocodrie. It does look like that hail core is a little bit to the south, so that's good news. But this is headed through the bayou down in southwestern Terrebonne Parish. And if we look at base velocity, the winds there's still some really high winds just offshore where we're seeing those lighter green colors. Looks like we're getting 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts in that little isolated cell. So we'll keep watching that one. That's headed out to the east. It expires at 10, and Cocodrie is right outside of there. So if I had to guess, it's going to move through Cocodrie around 10 because you're right at the edge of where that will expire. Now we'll move back up to the north. We have a lot going on across the entire area this morning. It's really kind of quiet compared to some places from Dulac up to Cutoff, just because we have a little bit of a break here in these storms. Now I think Chauvin and Dulac are really still getting some stormy activity. You're not included in a severe thunderstorm warning, but you're definitely seeing those stormy conditions and lots of lightning. So we'll move back over to this new warning. I think we just got another severe thunderstorm warning. This is for Orleans, St. Tammany, and Washington. So this is this warning. And the tag on this warning now is considerable damage. We have 70-mile-per-hour radar indicated winds. We've already had multiple reports of trees down across the area in the river parishes. Same thing could happen out here in New Orleans, Belle Chase, Gentilly, where we're already seeing those winds move through. Now it's moving out to the east. There's that new severe thunderstorm warning towards Hopedale. So Hopedale, Shell Beach, this is coming your way. Delacroix, Reggio, and Wood Lake, this is about to be towards you. So this is really moving kind of across the West Bank right now. And then up to the north, this is about to move through Slidell. It's really not quite raining there yet. You're probably wondering what is going on, maybe hearing some of that thunder about to head towards your way. You're about to get into these really windy conditions, and we'll see that storm headed through there as well. This is also 70-mile-per-hour winds. And we do have a tornado possible tag. So once again, we're not out of the woods on that tornado threat. We have all modes of severe weather possible with these storms. So we'll keep watching for the potential for a spin up within these. I'm mostly concerned right now about the winds. This is about to make its way over the border into southern Mississippi. Now up to the north, we also have Bogalusa included in a new severe thunderstorm warning. This one expires at 10:15. Bogalusa included. Just up to the north, Varnado, really not included in this, but you're still going to see that storm activity. It just tapers off a bit the farther to the north we get. Poplarville, you're included in this along 59 up to the Mississippi border there in Washington Parish. So we are going to continue to watch for that. We have Picayune, it's about to move there over the Mississippi border. We'll go into Hancock and Pearl River counties. Bay St. Louis also included in this new warning. So the moral of the story we've been watching through the morning is this is going to continue to get these severe thunderstorm warnings extended farther and farther east until we see some significant weakening, which we have not seen as we've gone throughout the morning hours. This storm complex has really been moving across the entire state of Louisiana through the morning. It started over on the western side of the state. Now we're seeing it move through our area. So we'll take it over to Josh, because we are still seeing some reports of power outages. I'm wondering if we're seeing more of those now. I'm going to play it out a little bit over the past hour so you can see the track of this storm. It started over in the river parishes, now very quickly extending to the southeast. And it looks like we now have a flood advisory in New Orleans. So we will take it over to Josh, see if we're seeing any reports of street flooding out there.
Yeah, Hannah, I'm keeping up with everything, listening to you as well, and this thing's obviously moving very quickly, but we're going to go right now, and I'll show you a couple things. A few updates since Hannah's been talking about that storm and as it's passing through, kind of sitting over Orleans right now, but we'll look right now, and one of the things is that Nola Reddy just tweeted out a few minutes ago, the neutral ground parking in Orleans is now officially lifted. You can park on the neutral ground if you need to. Now, I know you asked about street flooding. That's obviously why they lift the neutral ground parking restrictions anytime there's a huge storm like this. I apologize, we're getting a little technical difficulties there. Let's see if we can get it to sit with us for a second. All right, we're losing the signal, but anyway, I'm looking right now. We're not getting any actual reports right now of the street flooding. But again, the parking restrictions on the neutral ground have been lifted in Orleans Parish. Now, what we are seeing is a lot of power outages where that storm's already passed through. There are some big power outages right now in Hammond, and I'm taking a look. This is the area of Hammond right now. You see all that red. Some real big power outages up on the north shore above the lake in Hammond. Really getting some power outages, some pretty bad ones, and I was already showing you down here this entire area, Gard, this entire portion of the highway on the west bank of the river, south of Laplace and south of Reserve. we're seeing that whole area looks like it's out of power right now. And if I go over here and show you Orleans Parish, which is where the storm is sitting right now, not getting a ton of reports of any power outages. That's not saying that that won't change. But over in Metairie right now near the causeway, this area is without power, and that represents a little over 2,000 customers. So that's a pretty big power outage too right there on the west side of the causeway. Now that's been there since I opened this tab up. So I'm assuming that's from the storm. Now, of course, it could be from something else, but at the end of the day, that's another power outage that people are worried about. And if it's from the storm, that just goes to show you the power of those winds. But I'm just going to go back up to Hammond one more time, show you this area. Looks like this portion of the I-12 corridor, you're seeing a lot of power outages here. I'll just click on one just to get kind of an idea. Yeah, that's nearly 5,500 customers just in that area alone without power. That's Entergy alone. So if you got another energy company, we'll try to get that as well to you. But again, Entergy power outages, pretty bad in Hammond right now. And then one more time, just going to show you, NOLA Ready tweeted this out for Orleans Parish. Heavy rain could cause street flooding in low-lying areas. We know that. They lift the neutral ground parking when that occurs. So right now, until 6 p.m. Tonight, neutral ground is free to park on. Now, if we see the flooding, we may not see it because, again, if the storm's passing so fast, it's the wind that you've heard Hannah talk about. It's the lightning you've heard Hannah talk about. If we see street flooding, of course, park on the neutral ground if you're in a low-lying area where you see that sort of thing. You want to be careful, but really it's that other severe stuff. We've seen hail already coming into our newsroom, videos sent to us from Lafourche Parish. We've seen the wind. We know the lightning is severe. Jazz Fest has been pushed back. They are not going to be opening at 11 a.m. like they normally would today. Let's go right over just to check, see if they've said anything else. But no, this is the big thing right now for a lot of folks in Orleans Parish. Due to weather conditions, opening of today's Jazz Fest will be delayed by 1 to 2 hours. So if you were going to go line up, I hope you're not out there. If you were going to go line up and try to get in at the gates at 11, that's not happening. They've pushed back the opening. Stay tuned for more information. Of course, we'll get that to you here on Fox 8 if we can. But again, tracking a lot of stuff here this morning, Hannah, and I'll continue to do that. But the power outage is really a bad thing for where we've seen that storm already pass through. We're waiting to see how badly it affects Orleans, but you got a live look right there.
Yeah, we're taking a look at the fairgrounds, and you can see the stage. Now, this is good news, but you just saw some lightning flashing out there. We're still seeing lightning with this storm in the city. Now, most of the really stormy activity has now moved off to the east, is more so in eastern Orleans Parish, parts of St. Bernard, but the fairgrounds, still seeing that rainfall. We're still getting lightning flashes out there, so we're going to want to stay away from this area. It's a really open field. You don't want to be out there during a storm. And I want to point out we have some really windy conditions. We're getting those wind gusts up to nearly 40 miles per hour out in Homa. Belle Chase right now, that storm front is moving through. We're seeing almost 40 mile per hour wind gusts, and Slidell nearly 30. We've also had reports across the area of storm damage. So in the river parishes, we've had recorded gusts of 64 miles per hour. So that's why we're seeing all of that damage report out there. We had really gusty winds moving through, so we've seen trees down, and that's causing some issues with that power outage in the river parishes. So here's the storm right now that we're tracking. We still have that really nice bow echo look to it, and you can see that there. It started kind of condensed, then pushing out to the east. So on the southern end of this, it's kind of moving more so to the southeast, and up to the north, it's moving to the northeast, and then straight out to the east there from Orleans Parish. So I'm going to pause this. We'll take a look at these severe thunderstorm warnings that we're seeing now. So this is moving into southern Mississippi. We have the northern end of the storm system. This severe thunderstorm warning will expire at 10:15. So that's when we're expecting these really strong storms to push out. That will go past Gulfport and then be out of our area. So this is really almost out of our area already. We've been watching it for about 2 hours that it's been in the viewing area, and then it's going to move out. So very quick moving storms, but we're still seeing a lot of lightning. Notice though, it's kind of starting to fall apart. We don't have that one big shield of rainfall coming through. We're getting these little splotchy areas in between. That's good news. It means that it's losing a little bit of steam, but we still have that severe thunderstorm warning. So Picayune, this is headed towards you at 59, towards Hattiesburg. If you're headed in that direction, these storms are going to come into your area here very quickly. Slidell seeing that stormy activity. After it makes its way through there, it'll go along 10 into Bay St. Louis. So we'll take a quick look at what velocity is showing for that rain, for those winds, because that's what we're most concerned about right now. On the leading edge here, where we're seeing those lighter reds. That's what we're concerned about. And then back in here, we're also getting those really gusty winds deeper into that rainfall. So on the leading edge, we have about 30 to 40 mile per hour winds sustained, radar indicated. These are tagged for 60 mile per hour winds, which is certainly very damaging. We had some 70 mile per hour wind tags earlier today, so very strong storms moving through. These also, this severe thunderstorm warning out in Orleans Parish down in the south is tagged for tornado possible. Now, we don't have any reports of a tornado. We haven't seen any indication that we're getting that rotation. Now, I am a little bit concerned about this area to the northeast of Hopedale right now. If we take a look here, I can circle it for you. What we look for when we look for rotation, and that happens a lot in these mesoscale convective systems, we'll get a little spin up tornado there, and we look for these greens and the reds where they're forming a couplet. So watching for that to the northeast of Hopedale. Now, we don't have a tornado warning. There's a tornado possible tag on here, so I'm going to keep an eye out on all of these little areas that might be somewhat suspicious to us along the edge of the severe thunderstorm. So taking a look at reflectivity again, this is that rainfall. We have a lot of lightning back in here. This is headed towards Delacroix. The rain is about to be towards you. Hopedale, we're about to see all of this rainfall and really strong winds. Now, the good news, that shot I was showing you of the fairgrounds, New Orleans, we're kind of just seeing light rain now. Gentilly looking okay. And Marrero, we're clearing up. Kenner have a little bit of a break there. So it is easily and quickly going to look a lot better. Once these really strong storms move through, we're just going to see light rainfall behind there. And that's how things are looking in the city right now. So that's good news. We do have a street flood advisory. Now that this heavy rain is through, I'm not incredibly concerned about the ongoing nature of that threat, but I do think that if you head out there anywhere we just saw this heavy rain, we likely are probably seeing some street flooding out there. We're not really seeing reports of it yet. I'm looking at Streetwise right now. I haven't seen any closures because of street flooding, but just be cautious of that if you head out there. We're no longer in that severe thunderstorm warning. So now, if you're in Orleans Parish, in the city, and then over in northern Jefferson Parish, you're no longer included in a severe thunderstorm warning. So things are looking up. It's okay to go out there now, but wait a little bit. We're still getting some lightning strikes, but we're definitely looking a lot better. Here's that lightning now over to the east, moving through Bellchase. It's about to clear up in Bellchase. John Lafitte about to clear up. And Lockport, south of there, it's looking a lot better, but we still have this severe thunderstorm warning down to the south. This is in effect until 10:15. It includes Port Sulphur, Point LaHash. This is moving down through southern Plaquemines Parish, Golden Meadow and Galliano also seeing those strong storms. And if we look at velocity for that one, we're kind of just seeing that wind field. There's no tornado possible tag on this. Those sustained winds are really just 20 to 30 mile per hour radar indicated right now, but we could see gusts up to 60 miles per hour. And those can be very damaging. We've already noticed that across the area. We've seen some power outages in the river parishes up on the North Shore. And then down farther to the south, we're getting this really strong thunderstorm activity. We have a severe thunderstorm warning just to the west of Cocodrie. So this is about to finally make its way through you. This is the slowest moving cell that we've been tracking. It was well over to the west about an hour ago. It's really moving very slowly. So we could see some hail here in Cocodrie soon. I'll look at that hail track. Really not seeing so bad now. We were seeing a little bit of that hail previously. I can play that out for you. And it kind of looks like it's falling apart. So that's good news if you're in Cocodrie. We're not really seeing that indication now of that large hail, but you are going to see some really gusty winds about to head into your area. Looking at the velocity, winds about 20 to 30 miles per hour. That's what we're seeing across the area with these storms now. But we could see up to 60 mile per hour wind gusts. That'll be into Cocodrie by the next 20 minutes or so. So Chauvin seeing that rainfall. Homa, Raceland, Thibodaux, you're in the clear now. But this is also what I want to point out to you. We're starting to see some rebuilding of storms behind the storm system. So Napoleonville right now, you're getting some heavy rainfall. And I'm a little bit concerned with what models were doing this morning because we were seeing these main storms move through and then this back building of storm activity behind it. So that likely could happen, especially if we get some peaks of sunshine behind all of this rainfall. We're going to have a lot of fuel for some storms later today, and we could see some isolated pop-up storms. So I'll take it back over to Josh one more time, see if he has anything to add that we're seeing out there about Jazz Fest out on the fairgrounds, if there's anything else we're getting notified about.
And Hannah, I've been looking at just keeping an eye on the streetwise. I think, as you said, the storm kind of went through so quickly. I don't know that flooding is going to really be our issue in Orleans Parish, especially, which we know it doesn't take much rain at all to start flooding those streets in Orleans. And they did lift the neutral ground parking, and we are keeping up with streetwise, but we're not seeing the reports of flooding. That being said, that really was never the big concern, and you talked about it a lot anyway. It was the lightning, it's the wind, and that is something that we have seen start to affect us a little bit. And I'm going to jump right now to the Entergy map just one more time, getting a check on that. I'll even refresh it. I think it does that on its own, but I'll just do it anyway just to be 100% sure. I think Hammond is going to be the worst in terms of power outages, just from what I've seen from this Entergy map. It looks like an entire portion of Hammond right now is without power. It seems to be along the I-12 corridor. But again, I've been looking, and also we have burst right here. There is some stuff coming in to our newsroom right now through burst. Some people have sent in some stuff. That's just a picture. You see some wind, and that's forgive me. I'm not even 100% sure where that is. I know that it is a viewer sending us some stuff this morning. We've seen some other stuff too. Somebody sent us a picture looking down into the CBD. That's just an image of that storm when it was rolling in. Really scary clouds right there coming into the CBD. Obviously, that was earlier. That was about 9:04. Let's see, it's 9:43 now. So that was about 40 minutes ago or so. That was when that storm was initially coming in. But as you said, Hannah, it's already kind of made its way through. Let's just check one more time on our street flooding just to be sure. And forgive me if you're getting any back and forth with the signal there. I don't know if Streetwise seems to be having a little bit of issue, but again, it doesn't matter anyway. We're not getting any reports of any street flooding. And typically Streetwise is very quick about any time, especially the underpasses. They'll put that up really quickly when there's severe rain, and we're not seeing any of that. So that's good news if the storm is mostly gone. But for the Jazz Fest folks, that's what we want to hit one more time. It's only 9:45. The gates were not set to open until 11 anyway for Jazz Fest today, but they tweeted this out at 9:15 a.m. Due to weather conditions, the opening of today's Jazz Fest will be delayed by 1 to 2 hours. So that is set right now. They tweeted that out 9:15. So if you were one of those people that's maybe looking out your door right now and you're in the city of New Orleans and you're thinking, okay, the storm is gone, let's go to Jazz Fest. At this point right now, they're still going to delay it by 1 to 2 hours. And as you saw that shot from Hannah, I mean, we saw the lightning in the sky, probably farther away, but we saw that fairground shot. The ground out in the fairgrounds, it does not take much to saturate it. It was already raining yesterday, so the ground's already probably a little muddy. It's probably a little wet out there. So you just want to pay attention to this. And at this point right now, guys, Jazz Fest still going to be delayed by a couple of hours. And the neutral ground parking is also lifted in Orleans. I don't know that we're going to really need that, but it is lifted. They always do that in case. They always take their extra precautions. But you're looking at that shot one more time, Hannah, of the fairgrounds. And hopefully when this passes, I know you said there might be a second round coming later today. So we want to be aware of that. You might not be all the way out of the woods, even if you are now going, all right, we'll go whenever they open. Just bring your gear. Bring your boots, bring your rain gear.
For sure. I mean, we're still seeing light rainfall out there. Now, we're getting some light. We haven't seen as many lightning strikes, but you can see it's still raining out over the fairgrounds. And like Josh was talking about, we might have another round of rainfall coming in. So I'll go over one more time what's happening on Viper. We can get through the remaining severe thunderstorm warnings, and then we'll get off air. But we're looking at a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings still. This one's in effect. It's moved through Slidell, so Slidell has already seen these storms. This is headed towards Bay St. Louis and Poplarville up 59 up into Pearl River County. So Bay St. Louis, you're next. We'll see these storms moving through. The good news, they're kind of falling apart. They don't look as good as they did earlier, but they're still very strong storms that'll move up through Pearl River County and through Hancock County along 10 there. And there's still a lot of lightning. Turning that lightning on, you can see not as much as we had earlier. So it is kind of falling apart the farther to the east we get. But very strong storms still about to move through Hopedale. You're right on the verge there. You'll see those really gusty winds. The severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 10. Once again, the severe thunderstorm wind gusts are what we're the most concerned about. This does have a tornado possible tag on it, though, so I'm going to continue to monitor this. If we do get an area of spin up, I think it would likely be right here where we're seeing this little notch. We have greens and reds, and that could be a spin up or a water spout right now that's over Hopedale. So I'm going to continue to watch this. I don't think right now we have a tornado on the ground, but we have a tornado possible tag on that severe thunderstorm warning, and we could see 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Now to the south, this includes Point LaHash. This is about to move through that area through Davant, and then Port Sulphur is next. This is moving to the southeast. We talked about this in different directions along the bow. So southeast down here, that's going to move through southern Plaquemines Parish. That expires at 10:15. And then we have these really stormy conditions over Chauvin right now. We're seeing a lot of lightning, probably a lot of thunder if you're in that area. And then Cocodrie about to see this strong storm moving through. So keep that in mind. That's about to move through southern Terrebonne and southern Lafourche parishes, southern Jefferson Parish as well. So I'm going to zoom out. We'll take one more look at the overview here, and I want to mention what Josh was talking about. We could see some more storms later today. Now up north, we're seeing some rainfall that's starting to build behind this main system. So we might see some heavy lingering rain, but we're starting to also see a couple of little pop-up storms, and those are what I'm worried about by the afternoon. When we get that daytime heating, that can help fuel some storm activity. So we'll take you through one run of this model and then get off here so that you can get back to that normal programming. But models showing these storms coming out and then more storms popping up behind it. This is 2 to 3 this afternoon, that once we get that daytime heating in the midday to early afternoon hours, we easily could see some storms popping up. The atmosphere is just so ripe right now. We have a lot of high dew points across the area, and we're getting that lift that we need. So we could see some storms later this afternoon. Those kind of push off to the south and clearing up by around 7 to 8, maybe some lingering rainfall and cloud cover. Then late this evening, that whole system will push out and will look a lot better for tomorrow. But we are included in that level 1 risk for severe weather. We'll continue to monitor that throughout the day today. Damaging winds and hail continue to be the main problems that we're watching for. So if you're headed out there today, download the Fox 8 weather app so you can stay weather aware. Turn those notifications on and you'll have everything in your pocket. And if we have anything else come up, we have a tornado warning, severe thunderstorm warnings, we'll jump back on here. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for joining us for your Fox 8 Weather Authority forecast.
From Trust